I feel like there has been a lot of conversation online between the two of them and how people feel about their romantic relationship. Obviously, there is the fact that like Lestat turned Louis, and he's trying to guide him from being like a fledgling to be a full vampire. And there is also, this happens oftentimes when you're like race bending certain characters. The fact that like Louis is, Creole born, but he's black, and Lestat is white. There is a lot of conversation that people are having with the way that they are together, and I have my own opinions. But I did want to get your take on like how do you feel about the relationship when they first get together, like before Claudia is introduced to the dynamic when it's just the two of them.
I think it's very interesting because, like, at the end of the day, like, their relationship, I think, is kind of, I think the quote is like, everything in the show is about Lestat, except for Lestat, which is about Claudia. Like, I am a Claudia stan, like, she is the center of the show to me. So I think in looking at the show from that perspective, Lestat, they have their problems, but we also have to remember, like, they're monsters, they're vampires. Like, I think some of the conversation around the show applies very like human moral quandaries onto these characters who are the most human of monsters at the end of the day. So their moral code and values and all those things are similar to us, but different. I think Louis is a character who's deeply troubled in that he's dealing with a lot of kind of competing variables about himself. So he obviously has a certain grade of internalized homophobia. He's coming to grips with wanting to be in a relationship with a man, and especially be in a kind of somewhat public facing relationship with a man like Lestat, who he describes as being a lot, which is true. And I think he's just trying to find a way to navigate through that. And on top of it, he's become this vampire, which now changes his life that as he's known it, completely. Like, he can't really be around his family as much. He can't really, be as ingratiated into the culture of the area as much, because being a vampire kind of puts some blockages up between that. And then Lestat is a guy, he's old. Like, he's an old vampire. He's not as old as some other people, but like, he's an old vampire who has come to this new area, and I think is just sometimes not socially aware of certain things. Mm-hmm. So the whole idea of race, like, he sees Louis talking about how he's treated in the area by these white businessmen who obviously are trying to run him out. Lestat sees it as like, oh, we're talking about this again. But like, that's Louis' life. Like, he can't escape being a black man in this area. And so Lestat, I think, he's like, I will always defend you, and I understand, but Lestat doesn't understand some of the racial dynamics that are at play, and that does create friction. And I appreciate that the show explores that, and it has Louis say, like, we are different. You have to understand the dynamics of our relationship are not what they've been like with your other people who may have also been like white. Like, the first one of the first vampires that Lestat turns is Nikki, who's also white. So some of the friction in their relationship is not the same as the friction that he and Lestat or he and Louis may experience. And so that scene where Louis is just like, I'm queer, you're what, half queer, I'm Creole, you're white. Like, when you use words like fledgling to me, it sounds like you're saying like boy or slave. We have to find some like common ground here is pretty much what he's saying. Because he's like, you can't talk to me like any type of way. Like, if you want this to be a relationship that works, you have to understand our differences. And so I think that the show does a pretty decent job of addressing that, and addressing those differences. They didn't just make Louis a black man and then be like, oh, race has,
Yeah.
race is fine. Like, that doesn't affect the relationship at all. It's like, no, that Lestat can't be like, I don't see color. It's just like, no, you have to see color in this relationship.
Do you remember when I think it was season 1, Lestat went up to the piano player and he started playing like classical music at first, and everyone was like, oh, boo, get him on the stage.
He's a hell no.
And they started playing the same music they were playing. He's like, oh, he's all right. Let that white man play. Like that, when he did that in my head, it was reminds me of when like you're talking to someone who is obviously not black and they're like, oh my gosh, I love Jay-Z. I love ASAP Rocky, ASAP Ferg. You're like, I don't really listen to rap music. You're like, oh, really? I'm more black than you. It's like, okay.
Okay.
Let's stop right there.
All right. All
'Cause
right. Yeah.
this ain't
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
In that moment when he did that, I was just like, oh my gosh, he don't get it at all. He doesn't see.
Mm-mm.
And it's so funny when Daniel, because he's such a hoot and a half,
Yeah, he
bringing
said
up
it.
bringing up the power imbalance between the two of them. I was like,
Well,
because for me, I think that even though Louis points that out to Lestat, Louis is kind of naive, you know, because
hmm
in the beginning of the show, he is this brothel owner and he's hiding the fact that he is interested in men. And now he's a vampire. So not only you're trying to get over the fact that you're interested in men, you're with a man now. You're trying to get
yeah.
over the fact that you have to kill people. Like you're sucking on neighborhood cats and rats to satisfy
hmm
your hunger, but you won't kill a person because that's just too much for you. It's like, sir, what did you think you signed up for when you first went into it? You know, like I know that this man is very pretty and he's very alluring, but like there is, you know, some consequences to your actions. Like you signed this contract of eternity, you got to live up to some of the terms. Otherwise, you are going to, you know, I don't think vampires die, but you're gonna go hungry, sir. So you gotta have to, you know, do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
And with Louis trying to educate Lestat and him just kind of like brushing over it, it feels very much like you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because
hmm
my dad, he's like close to 60 and he has a smartphone, but for some reason, the only thing he knows how to do is use WhatsApp. Like, you try to teach that man how to take a picture or like try to
It's like not working.
show him how to scan a QR code. He can't get it. Like he doesn't understand. Like you click the link under it. He's like, why? He's like, it leads to
That's just
something
how it's.
else.
Yeah, that's how it's
It's
done.
technology, sir. You know? So watching Louis trying to explain race to Lestat is like that for me because yes, you could understand race. Yes, you could learn. It's like you don't want to. Because you don't, it
hmm
doesn't apply to you or you don't have to. Like, my dad doesn't need to know how to use his phone or how to work his inbox because he has children to do that for him. Like, that's why I have you guys here. So you can help me.
Yeah.
You do it for me. I call you, you come here, you take care of it, I'm done. That's it. And
Yeah.
Lestat, you know, it was so clear the way he's like kind of brushing off Louis. I'm like, this is your first, this is your first black vampire? Are there no black people from where you're from, sir?
Yeah,
Like,
I guess not. Or like he's like he's got the very European mindset where he's like, I don't understand racism, which
mhm.
like racism still does exist in the UK.
Oh yeah.
But them thinking that they're like post racism, like, oh, we're so refined, we've moved beyond that. And
I'm
it's just
sorry,
like,
y'all started this
no.
colonization game. So what do you mean?
It's like it's still entrenched in your culture
Uh
and kind of
huh.
how you talk to people and how you think about people. So it's like you're not post it, you're still in it. And Lestat truly believes he's just like, I don't understand. Racism is stupid. It's just like, yeah, yeah, baby, it
Yeah,
is
it is
stupid, but
stupid, babe.
like,
But that doesn't
but
negate the fact that it exists.
it still is there. Like you being like it's dumb doesn't make it less visible. Like
Mm-hmm.
you need to understand that. And does he understand that? No,
No,
no, he doesn't.
no.
They're both there are things about their relationship that both of them don't quite, like
Get.
you said, with Louis, not to say that he doesn't understand, but him being like, I don't want to kill humans, he's holding on to his humanity. And it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
babe, you're a vampire. You gotta let that go.
You can't
You gotta
go
let it go.
outside.
Yeah.
You
You
can't
can't
go.
go outside.
You want to
You
eat
can't
your niece, nephew. You want to eat the baby.
you want to eat the baby. Like you can't live the life that you were living before in the same way. You're a vampire. Think some
Exactly.
things have got to change. They're just two very stubborn people.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very stubborn. Um, a Libra and a Scorpio. Like they are very stubborn people.
Girl, stop.
They are very stubborn people. So
Okay.